Hey everyone, it's Mike. Before we start the episode, I have a quick question to ask. Do you own a brewery? Do your customers love trivia as much as I do? Well, then you better listen up, because Geeks Who Drink weekly trivia nights are the cornerstone of event programming for over 650 breweries and bars nationwide. Geeks Who Drink Trivia is consistently fun and low-effort way to build a community of regulars, because we all need our norms, cliffs, and all that, but we want to bring more people in as well. So you can even turn that slow weeknight into the busiest night of the week. So get started with this exclusive offer for my Taproom listeners and get your first quiz night free. Go to geekswhodrink.com/taproom and enter promo code taproom. That's geekswhodrink.com/taproom, promo code taproom. And now onto the episode. All right, and we're back. This is episode 81 of the Taproom podcast, and I'm your host, Mike. It's Sunday morning. No, I don't know what I was going to sing right there, but I can't sing to save my life. But yeah, Sunday morning. Yesterday was the first day of the first real Saturday of college football. What a day. Before I jump into that, this is, like I said, episode 81. This episode I recorded with Kevin Rodriguez, the founder of Ass Paddle Brewing. He's a contract brewer. I don't want to get too far into it because I don't want to spoil anything for the interview, but really nice guy. He brought down a few of his beers. We got to record at La Bodega. Even Abraham makes a surprise appearance on the episode, so it was cool. But yeah, just a really nice guy. Got to have a few beers, got to have some food at La Bodega. Man, honestly, I can't wait till he opens up his own brewery so I can go out and check it out. He loves lagers and stuff like that, like I do. So that'll be exciting for him, and I'm excited for him. Yeah, so let's jump into some college football before we jump into an interview. Some good games yesterday. Like a couple teams struggled. When Notre Dame beat Texas A&M. Only thing I'll really say about that game is, the quarterback for Texas A&M, it was just not good. And honestly, I feel like Riley Leonard for Notre Dame I think he got a little better as the game went on. Obviously, he was using his legs a lot. But I feel like their last drive was probably their best drive. Yeah, that was probably their best drive. But, that's when you want the quarterback to step up. So I feel like, they did well. I'm not sure. It's only week one, really. So, we don't really know. But it does, if you were to base it off of one game, it does not look like A&M's very good. I feel like their defense is really good. I'm just talking about their offense right now. Oregon kind of struggled with Idaho. But like I said, that could be week one. The team that impressed me the most, though, this week was probably Fresno State. Like, in the trenches with Michigan at the big house. Yeah, Michigan won that game 30-10. But that game was a lot closer than the stat sheet showed. So, but like I said, it could be week one. We don't really know what Michigan's quarterback situation is really. He just didn't look good yesterday. But yeah, Ole Miss rolled 76-0. Bama won 63-0. Ohio State 52-6. My Badgers blew my parlay the other day. I had one. I think I hit like the first 5 or 6 on a parlay, and then Badgers blew it for me. Penn State beat West Virginia. Sorry to my buddy Brew Dude, West Virginia. I was cheering for him. Drew Aller looked really good. I think he got kind of cooking in the second half after that long delay. And Georgia just steamrolls Clemson. Like, dang. I was honestly surprised. Obviously Clemson kept it close in the first half, but there's only so much your defense can do if your offense can't move the ball. Georgia's defense is for real. They're just reloading. I'm still like Carson Beck. I'm not sold on him just yet, but I'm sure he'll just keep progressing and get better and better. What else we got? Today SC's playing LSU. I was thinking about it. It depends on the defense. It really does. I feel like the secondary is going to be really good, but it's up to the defensive line. If they're able to pressure LSU because of how good their secondary is, I think they can force some turnovers and win the game. If they aren't able to get any pressure, it doesn't matter how good your secondary is, you're not, they can only cover for so long. So I think it comes down to that. I hope SC wins, but you know me. Like I don't let it bother me like I used to. If they lose, they lose. It's just a fucking game. Well, we had a couple polls we did a poll, we did a question. Let's see what we got here. Probably should have had that ready, but you know me. Let's see here. And honestly, it was a really fun week. I got to go to Pizza Port the other day. That was a lot of fun. I just took Morgan down there with me, had a few beers and all that good stuff. And then I went to Artifacts as well. The poll of the week this week was, what's better with barbecue? West Coast, Pilsner or Lager, or Hazy? 52% of the vote said Pilsner or Lager. So those are those people know what they're talking about. I'm just kidding. 15% said, 33% said West Coast IPA, and 15% said hazy. I just feel like hazies can be like really thick. Like, not thick, but like heavier. So I feel like, with the barbecue, you're already kind of getting that sweet and savory. But if you get something crispy to kind of go through, like, to kind of cut through that, that's kind of my thought process. But then again, you could have a really like solid West Coast as well. But like hazies, I actually had one yesterday from Green Cheek towards the end of the night. It was really, really good. It was a triple dry hop. I think it was the other Brian, I think it was. Really good stuff. All right, now the question of the week. This one was fun. I was like scrambling, trying to figure out a good one. But the Geeks Who Drink question of the week was, what was the original purpose of the Stein lid? And the answers were keeping out dust, being poisoned, or to protect against the plague. So what was the original purpose? And the answer to that was to protect against the plague. 190 people selected protect against the plague. 130, which is honestly like this answer being poisoned. Like I get why they answered that. But 130 said being poisoned, and 80 people said keeping the dust out. But the correct answer was to protect against the plague. All right. So what did I cook yesterday? Oh, I made pulled pork. I made pork belly, bird ends, meats. What are they called? Jalapeno poppers. There you go. Couldn't think of it. Some good stuff. So I have leftovers. Somebody having that today. Might actually make some hot links as well in the smoker, just to plump those sons of bitches up. You know what I mean? All right. So we're going to jump into the interview now. But if anybody, if you guys ever have like questions about the show or ever want to do, I know I've mentioned this before, like a bonus beer review. Oh, and crap. I always forget. T-shirts are available, obviously. They're available on the link is in my bio on at the Taproom on Instagram. So you can look at it there. Yeah. Go ahead, check it out if you want to help support the show in some way. You can buy a t-shirt. I think they're $22, I think. Something like that. Or if you sign up for the first time on TeePublic, you get like 35% off your entire order, I think, or something around there. So, if you want to support the show, there it is. I had some, other thing is, I want to say rest in peace to Johnny Hockey. So Johnny Gaudreau and Matthew Gaudreau, his brother. That's such a sad thing. Like, I really liked Johnny Hockey. Just feel, so bad for him and his family. So, just shout out to them and hope their family's doing okay. All right. We're going to jump into the interview now and stay tuned for the outro. All right, guys, we're back in the tap room, and I'm your host, Mike, and I have a very special guest on today. I have Kevin Rodriguez, former brewer of La Bodega and future brewery owner himself. What's going on, bud?
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having me here, Mike.
Oh, good, man. I'm glad we got to do this. And shout out to Abraham. We're over here at La Bodega, and he set it all up for us. I'm in the back room, and he called you his Padawan.
Sure.
Yeah. So, man, so I know you're opening up your own brewery, and I do want to get into that. So we'll talk about that in a sec. But before we do that, can you tell us about how you got started in craft beer?
Yeah, definitely. This whole craft beer journey for me started with the idea, actually with my cousin. His name is Jose.
Okay.
He has a big influence on this journey as well.
Awesome.
But it was an idea of us going, hey, we should open a bar, right? Or some kind of business that, involved alcohol and selling of alcohol.
Yeah.
And so I said, all right, that sounds cool. And after drinking a lot of craft beer during that time, it was around 2015, 2016.
Yeah.
And he said, hey, why don't we brew our own stuff?
Yeah.
And I said, oh, that sounds cool. And so not too soon after, my sister was we were moving out of our parents' house into our own home.
Okay.
And then my cousin had the right idea to ask my sister, hey, can we use your kitchen.
Yeah. To brew the beer, yeah.
Yeah, to brew some beer. And definitely, she said, yeah, as long as you don't blow it up,
Yeah.
you're fine. We're like, oh, no problem. So that's where it originally started. It was just an idea of us trying to open a business together.
That's cool.
And yeah, little by little, he bought me my first brewing kit, and he said, all right, start learning how to do this.
Yeah.
And I said, okay,
Yeah.
And so, yeah, started in the kitchen. Then little by little, as time went by, got a little bit more serious.
Okay.
And we ended up cutting kegs open, making those pots.
Yeah.
And then we started brewing out of the kegs, basically.
Yeah.
And we rigged them up so that we had spigots on the bottom and everything. And then from there on, we said, you know what, we got to go bigger.
There you go.
A couple of years later, we ended up buying a 1-barrel brewing system, and we put it inside my sister's garage.
Nice.
So I moved all her stuff out.
Yeah.
My poor sister.
Yeah.
And then we put basically the 1-barrel brewing system back then.
Okay.
Yeah, and then that was pretty much 2016 through, I want to say, 2018, 2019.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and then from there, I decided to take it a bit further and say, I want to go to brewing school.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Yeah. And so I ended up taking 2 years at UCSD. So I would drive from Long Beach
Oh, shit.
all the way to UCSD twice a week to
Dang.
take the brewing courses. And so that's where my dedication really started taking a turn into the brewing industry.
Man, that's so cool.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's a drive. I mean, it's Southern California, so it's not super far, but I'm sure with all the traffic, I mean, doing it twice a week.
Yeah.
Was it on the weekends or in the weekday?
It was during the week.
Oh, shit. Yeah, that's even worse.
Yeah. And so, at the time I was working in the water purification industry.
Yeah.
And I told my boss I have to leave at like 1 so that I can get to my class by 4, I believe it was.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Well, I bet that water purification thing helped in the brewing side, though.
Well, absolutely. And that's kind of like another piece where my interest peaked, because someone in the industry, he's like this German dude who brewed his own beer, and he also kind of directed me in the path of brewing as well. Yeah.
That's awesome, dude. And I just wanted to mention that because you mentioned earlier about how like you wanted to open up like a bar or something like that.
Yeah.
I feel like anytime like your buddies are together, like there's always that idea. You're like,
yeah,
we should open a bar, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like a scene from Ted.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
For sure. Great flick.
Yeah.
Great flick.
Yeah.
So you're going to school, you're doing all that. What happened next?
And then from there, after a couple years, COVID hit.
Yeah.
And so I spent a lot of time in the garage, just, developing my recipes and
dialing stuff in.
And then I said, well, I really would like to get like hands-on experience of what a brewery is. And so kind of like towards the end of COVID, and this is like, I was already in the engineering industry for about 12 years.
Wow.
And I decided to leave. I was like, I don't want to do engineering anymore.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like fed up with all this. And I want to do something that I'm passionate about.
Of course.
And what a time to reflect than during COVID, right? When you had more time than...
Exactly. When we had nothing to do.
We had nothing to do. And that kind of like from there, I just ended up saying, I'm going to apply to a few breweries. And in the beginning, it was hard because I was getting like rejected here and there. But, I was applying to huge breweries. I wasn't applying to like a small brewery around the corner.
Yeah.
And I ended up getting called by the brewery in Anaheim.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And they gave me an opportunity there to be assistant brewer.
Oh shit, that's awesome, man.
Oh, this is great.
And
it's
a big play. It's a big one to go to right away.
It's a really big one to go to.
Yeah.
And so, I definitely had a pretty big shock to the industry.
I bet.
Because I was in the engineering industry. I was sitting down on my butt all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then
now you're getting up all the time.
Now you're up toward like pretty much for 10 hours a day.
Yeah.
Doing all this. And it was a challenge. It was a big challenge.
Dude.
Yeah.
I mean, that's, it's a big change. It's a drastic change. But it's crazy. Like that's the kind of stuff like you kind of like, I love to hear because I mean, some people, they may have like a cushy job or like a job that, that they make a lot of money doing or stuff like that, but they're still willing to say like, fuck it, this is what I want to do.
Correct.
So,
Yeah. No, it was it scared me big time because I was taking a huge pay cut from the engineering industry.
Yeah.
And going in here, starting fresh, right? And it was really hard to adapt to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's not easy to walk away, like I said, from the money and stuff like that. But
correct.
And I've talked to some people that were lawyers before, and they're like, dude, I just wanted to brew.
Yeah.
And that's what they would do every weekend. And then eventually, lawyers make a lot of money. So when you walk away from that, you're like, man.
Yeah.
I'm sure that was really scary.
That's rough. Yeah. It's a rough thing to do in general for anybody in any industry.
Yeah.
Is I'm going to do something totally different with my life and bet on it, right?
100%.
Yeah.
That's so cool, though. I mean, kudos to you for doing it.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
And so, what was it like at the brewery when you got there?
It was, like I said, it was a big culture shock in the beginning. I had a different idea in my head of how it was going to be.
Yeah.
I was going to come in, rock the place, and then it turned out I was in the presence of like brewers that have been around the industry for years. I mean, these guys were pros at what they do. And especially at the brewery, this is like, they had big expectations from everybody.
Oh, for sure.
And everybody was there to do their task and to do it right and to do it well.
Exactly.
And that to me was a big like culture shock.
Yeah.
To me, because I was oh man, these guys are like serious about beer.
Yeah.
I was serious, but not that serious.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was rough. It was rough for the first couple months. It took a toll on how I thought things were gonna go, but little by little, I started overcoming all those little obstacles, and it became one of the best experiences I've had in my life in the brewing industry. I mean, it was things that I saw that I would probably never see if I didn't go there.
Yeah.
As far as like techniques and as far as like attitude, and it's just an industry adjustment, right?
Oh, for sure, man. I mean, and I feel like those like kind of trials and tribulations and stuff, they they make you better for it.
Correct.
And some people can't handle it. Like they cave or they fold and they're just like, nope. Some people, because I'm sure you probably could have went back to your engineering stuff.
Right.
But I mean, you stuck with it.
Yeah. And you're right. People would leave, and I remember going through an instance where I was working in the cellar and they were like, hey man, you're really green and we kind of need to demote you to packaging. And I was just like, oh, I'm that bad, huh? And they're like, oh, you just gotta, you just gotta learn the ropes. That's all it is. And I said, okay. So I had all the theory already. I had all the like schooling and I had everything, but the practical side of things, I didn't really have it on my hands. And so they stuck me in the packaging line for quite a long time, probably like 5 months. I was there in packaging. But I mean, I'll tell you, I learned a lot about what it takes to package beer, like that side of the process.
100%.
That I wasn't really thinking about.
Yeah.
In my earlier phases of like opening a brewery. Now I'm like thinking more details down the line.
Yeah.
And it became more evident to me of like where I needed to start.
Yeah.
And then what's the finish line. So it gave me a better timeline of how to do things.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool though, man. I mean, you get like learn those life lessons as you go. And like you said, it helps you grow because technically, now that you did all that, did that stuff too, but then it'll lead into like, obviously like you opening your own place.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You have a better view of it. Like it's still not 100% like good window, but it's a way better window. Like now I know what a brewery looks like, an operation of like 20 brewers.
Exactly.
Right? I know how much 20,000, 25,000 barrel looks like out the door. You know, and we're over here pushing like 500 barrel. And so it was a really cool thing to see. It was really hard in the beginning, but it was definitely what I needed. Awesome to see and do.
And how long were you there for?
I was there for a year.
Okay.
Yeah, I was there for a year, and just building relationships with all the brewers, building relationships with the owners and sales department, the distribution department. I would see Abraham come in and kind of like hang out because I guess he had already connections with one of the managers there.
Okay.
And this was like Abraham's one of favorite breweries. And so he would go and I would see him and I was just like, you're around the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you.
Yeah, I know you. Yeah. So it was kind of cool to see how, the industry collaborates that way.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, and Abraham's such a sweetheart.
Yeah.
And he loves to joke around, and I always love to joke around too. So yeah, but just like the second we met each other, I felt like we were like kindred spirits.
Yeah. No, he's a great guy, and he's been a huge like role model as far as like the whole brewing industry, the passion, and how things should be like lined up for you to do this.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So when you leave there, what happens next?
So I leave the brewery and I end up pretty much saying, hey, well, I need to make some money. So I ended up going back to engineering.
Okay.
But at the same time, I came to Abraham and I said, hey, do you have space for like a part-time brewer?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, what do you want to do?
He's a part-time.
Yeah. He's like, what do you mean? And I said, well, I mean, I'll help you. Whatever you need, brewing or cellar or whatever it is. So it piqued his interest and he goes, oh yeah, come on. You worked at the brewery, you know how this is.
Yeah.
And then he's like, would you be okay with this pay? And I was like, yeah, at this point, I just kind of want to keep growing.
Yeah.
And so I hadn't brewed at a commercial level by this point.
Okay.
I had done all the cellar stuff. I had done all the packaging, but I never actually brewed in a system.
Yeah.
And so Abraham's goal for me here was for me to master the brewing system.
Okay.
And then help him brew and pump out beer.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of key to my growth as well, because that was a whole different, like, it's almost the same process, but it's such a huge
just
quantity,
at a bigger scale, yeah.
That it's just that slightly different, right?
Yeah.
And so he taught me how to use the system. Technology is a little different, so the process of how to manipulate things was different, and so yeah, from after doing all the brewery stuff, coming here, I was able to show him some kind of process things, and so we were feeding off each other back and forth.
That's cool.
He's teaching me the brew side, and I'm kind of like not teaching him, but kind of going, hey, why don't you try these techniques? And he's like, oh, that's cool. I never thought about that.
Yeah.
And so we helped each other that way.
Oh, dude, the collaboration in this industry is the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most people in most industries are very like,
close.
This is mine.
Yeah. Get out of here.
Get out of here. Yeah. I'm going to destroy you.
Yeah.
And even though there is some competition within the brewing industry, it's not as bad as under other.
Yeah. Everybody still wants everyone to succeed.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. And there's industries out there that are kind of the same, but like sports, right?
Yeah.
You have all these mentors and people that bring you up.
Oh, for sure, man. Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. So how long you were here for how long now?
So I was here for a year. Yeah, exactly a year. And I ended up kind of taking a break for a little bit. Yeah. Trying to figure out my own path to brewing. And again, Abraham ended up connecting me with another individual in the industry and saying, hey, this person needs help. Do you want to help him?
Yeah.
And at that point, I was like, okay, well, here's going to be my demands.
Yeah.
And it ended up being where I wanted to start my own. I mean, and this is the thing. My brewing company had been developing since homebrew, right?
Okay.
So I never let that go during this whole time. I'm still,
that dream was still there.
It was still there. And so I would go to work and then I'll come home and still brew beer.
Yeah.
On the weekend. So it was never nonstop.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so he said, I talked to the owner of the brewery and I said, I want to start my own company.
Yeah.
I am willing to help you brew your beer and develop your program as long as you allow me to start my company here.
Yeah.
And he was like, win-win. Both of us win. Let's do it.
Yeah, for sure.
And I said, awesome.
Yeah.
And so now, currently, during this whole journey, now I'm basically running his brewing program and starting my own company at the same
That's so
time.
cool, man.
Yeah.
Kudos to you.
Thank you. Yeah, yeah.
And the name of the name of your brewery, I love it. Can you tell the listeners what it's going to be?
Yeah, it's Ass Paddle Brewing Company.
There you go.
And it's the way we came up with the name was during the homebrew time, and we're, we have a paddle and we're like mashing in our grains, and everybody's having a great time, laughing, drinking beer, and my cousin grabs the paddle out of the mash, and someone drops beer.
Oh shit!
And he ends up going, wow, like smacking the person, and then I was just like,
there you go.
And then he goes, Ass Paddle. And it was just like,
Ass Paddle.
Wait a minute.
That's the name.
Yeah. So we ended up putting a lot of spin to it,
That's cool.
And it's now for us, it's like a force, right? Like, let's go kick some ass.
That's
of thing.
Awesome.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Did you ever watch the movie Beer Fest?
Yes.
Yeah, remember I can't remember who says it, but there's a part in the movie where he's the loser takes a paddle up the ass.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. That's right.
And honestly, that's the first thing I thought. When I saw the logo, I was like, that was the first thing I thought. I was like, Beer Fest.
Yeah.
I'm such a movie nut. So like, I saw that. I was like, oh, that's awesome.
One of my favorite beer movies out there.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
It's so great. So you have some beers here, right?
Yeah, I have some beers here. And
this one?
This one, we'll start with the
which one's
can. This? So this was an experimental beer for me.
Okay.
It's a lager, and it's basically Sorachi hops.
Oh, okay.
And it's just straight up lager.
Awesome.
Yeah, straight up German malt, Pilsner malt.
Say, that's right up my alley. Dude.
Yeah, and surprisingly, this has been sitting in my cooler for about a year now.
Okay.
October will be a year.
Wow.
And I feel like this beer gets better and better as it lagers.
Oh
inside the tank.
It's crazy to me, like how sometimes, because I won't say what brewery it was from, but there was a beer I had. I want to say it was like maybe 2 months ago, and and we're back. So it was this beer that I had. I was like, man, and it was in a West Coast IPA. I was super excited about it, and cracked the first one of the 4 cans. I was like, ugh. It's like, man, it's just, not good. But I'm also not the person I won't ever talk about. Like, I won't say, like, I don't want to trash anybody's product or anything like that.
Sure.
That's not what I'm about. But it was weird. So I had it. So, like, the 3 cans sat in there for, like, 2 weeks. Yeah. And then I was like, you know what? I bought it. I'm going to drink it,
Yeah.
So poured that second one. I was like, wait a second. Tastes a lot better than it did 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And then I was like, let me try another one just to make sure I'm not just, and then I ended up finishing all 3.
Yeah. Let me try another one. Yeah. Oh, and so these Sorachi hops are, from what I know, is they're used on Sapporo, the Japanese lager beers. And I ended up going kind of strong on them, and little to know, I ended up getting this really complex lager.
Shit.
Gave it like a floral, a little bit of Pilsner hoppy kind of taste to it. And yeah,
that's distinct.
Yeah. And
still super smooth though.
Super smooth.
Yeah.
And so I ended up calling this It's Complicated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that.
And everybody's like, that's a perfect fit for that.
Oh yeah.
Because it's not really a traditional lager. It doesn't taste like Sapporo at all, but it does have those kind of complex floral yet smooth taste to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, man, great job, bro.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah.
That's cool. I mean, it's been aging for a while and still got it. Like I said, it has a really distinct, like unique kind of flavor, but it's super smooth going down.
Yeah. In the beginning, it was more like way more floral.
Okay.
Yeah. And so now you're kind of getting the back end of like,
yeah, and it's not like lingering on the palate either, so it goes down real nice.
It goes away.
Yeah.
You just get kind of like that bitterness, that Pilsner bitterness at the end of it. Yeah,
for sure. And we're back. And somebody decided to join. Someone decided to crash the party.
What's up, everybody? Abraham here, La Bodega Brewing Company. I thought I'd just chime in here really quick and Really just want to say thank you to you.
Oh,
I saw your video on Instagram. I'm sure a lot of your listeners have seen it as well, and a lot of the brewers especially. So really want to say thank you and appreciate the shout out. That was a great video, man. Obviously, I shared it and showed the family and all my folks here. So it was awesome, man. Thank you again. I can't stop saying thank you because that's how dope it was.
I appreciate you saying that. I mean, anything I can do for the industry, man. That's all I just want you, like, I want to support you, your family, and all the other breweries out there, that are honestly for letting me be a part of the industry. I feel like so.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So since Abraham is here, did want to ask. He did mention that I was going to ask you about your worst brew day, but then he said you may have slipped once.
That wasn't my worst, but yeah, that was actually a pretty chill day.
Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, one time I was brewing here, and so he has tape usually on the stairs, but it just so happened to be at this moment there was no tape on there.
Oh shit!
I was sometimes his PLC the air valves go off, and so I have to go and reset it.
Oh,
and so I was
okay.
like, crap. So I'm like running down the stairs and boom, 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 boom. And he catches it on video. And it shows me like 100 times after that.
Not only him, but all the staff. So we all had a good chuckle about that. That was a fun day.
Yeah.
That's awesome. But what was your worst brew day?
Well, this is more like homebrew.
Okay.
On my homebrew day.
Oh, that was, I think Abraham's was a homebrew story too.
Yeah. I think those were the most frustrating times from brewing.
Yeah.
Here we have like issues, but we'll deal with them.
Yeah.
But that was more like, well, I was having a party.
Yeah.
And in my sister's house, there's a basement. And that's where I was fermenting my beer. And it was like a glass carboy. And I was super proud of this beer.
Yeah.
Like it was kind of like one of my beer number 5 or something like that.
Yeah.
And I ended up bringing people downstairs because they were like, "Oh, I heard you're a home brewer," and I was like, "Yeah, come check it out." I'm not trying to show off. And so I bring people downstairs. I'm like, "Yeah, here it is. It's bubbling and it's fermenting," and I'm telling them like the whole process. And some like drunk girl,
oh shit,
like tips.
Oh no!
Bangs the carboy against the concrete wall and it just shatters.
No.
The carboy was still standing up, but the piece of the glass had already gone inside the beer. And I was so mad. Like it pissed me off.
Dang.
I ended up kicking everybody out of the party.
Get the fuck out of my house.
Go home.
Man.
I was that pissed.
I would be too, dude. That's fucking nuts.
mean, lucky nobody got hurt with the glass. They had to cut their, shoes or feet and then
absolutely, yeah.
Really be pissed.
Yeah, I'd really be mad. Sure. Yeah. And so I was like, I have to save this beer.
Yeah.
And they're like, how are you going to save it? It has glass in it, Kevin. Let it go.
It's what a strainer's for.
I said, no. So I was like, I'll put it in a bucket. So I put the beer in a plastic bucket and then I go back to my job.
Yeah.
Because I know one of my coworkers, he develops filtration.
Okay.
Like membranes for water purification, right?
Yeah.
And so I came up to him and was like, "Hey man, I have this beer that I need to filter out glass. Do you have anything?" He goes, "I might have something at home. I'm gonna come and bring it for you." And I said, "All right, cool." So he brings me this like military grade mesh, like it was stainless steel, like 4,000 strands per square inch. And I was just like, "Yeah, that'll do it."
Yeah, that will absolutely do it.
And so I ended up, saving the beer. And then by the time it comes to serve, everybody was hesitant and like, I was like, I'll go first.
I'll do it.
Yeah. I ended up saving the beer, but man, that was like,
there you go. Hey, at least you saved it.
It's funny. I have another not so funny story with this guy next to me.
Yeah.
So, the one time we were in the brew house and one of our glycol pipes stopped working. And then it started leaking. And the way my system is set up, it's not the best because I can't isolate an individual tank.
Okay.
So if I shut down the glycol, all of my tanks are shut down.
Oh shit.
So we were scrambling, man. We cut that thing. We ran to Home Depot. We just got like some PVC. We're like, let's just Mickey Mouse it. Let's just patch this up to until we, get actual professionals to come and fix it. Man, it was a shit show.
Yeah.
Cut it, kill the glycol. We had to let it dry out. And, it was still moist, but we had no other choice. It's screw it, put the cement and let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
And luckily it worked.
The
There you
glycol
go.
would keep coming out of the plastic pipe.
Oh shit.
And in order to put the cement on there, it has to be dry.
Right.
Yeah.
And so Abraham and I go, okay, dude, here's what I want you to do. As soon as you dry, I'm going to pop this right in. And we're like two idiots going,
Was it ready? 1, 2, 3, go! We got it done, man. Got it done.
As long as you got it done, right?
Anyways, all right. Well, I don't want to usurp this whole podcast. I know it's for Kevin, but I just want to pop in, say what's up,
Yeah.
and enjoy, guys.
Thank you.
I'm gonna head out.
Thanks, brother.
Thanks.
All right, and we're back again. Abraham had to take off. He's got to go do some back to school shopping. So yeah,
It's that time.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you too, Kevin, because it's kind of a question I haven't really asked on the show. Really,
Sure.
like I think to one other brewer, but like, is there like if you're gonna have a long brew day?
Yeah.
Do you ever need like a get psyched kind of song? Or,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's times where you walk in and you just kind of you need that extra element to get you up and going.
oh yeah,
Yeah, it's I'm really into cumbia music,
Okay.
and I'm also really into like EDM,
okay,
and so I have a favorite artist of mine is De Oro.
Oh.
He kind of mixes a lot of his EDM with cumbia,
yeah,
and then not only do I like the cumbia electro, I also like kind of like the what is it called, trap. Like trap music.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, nothing wrong with it.
Yeah. And so those are kind of like my go-tos, but like for De Oro, I know I like a song called Yo Las Pongo.
yeah. See, that's the one thing about me. I don't know Spanish.
Yeah. No, it's okay.
But but there's a few songs that I do like. Like, well, I mean, I
Yeah.
love like Mana. I don't
Uh-huh.
know what they're saying. But
Yeah.
it sounds great.
Yeah. And it's this song is kind of funny because they have it's a Mexican like banda
Oh
kind
shit.
of band to it.
Okay.
And it's Los Tucanes de Tijuana and Mafio. And so like I'm saying all this, but like
Yeah.
it's just a really high energy
Okay.
kind of song to it. I'm like, okay, I can rock to this.
Yeah.
Or RL Grime has a song called Core.
Okay.
And there's a line that I like about it is like, who does this shit like I do? And
Oh,
then
there you go.
dude, I just
Love it.
Yeah, boom.
That's
ended
great.
up going. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Like for me, it was like, and I don't know if I've ever talked about it on the show, but like, because I mean, I used to coach for the YMCA. I did it for like 9 years just as a volunteer. And mine, I had like a whole game day playlist. Like it was just
yeah.
something I'd listen to it in the car on the way when I
Yeah.
got there, and I would always get there super early to have my headphones in and listen to it as you're doing prep work or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, the big one was always Lose Yourself or like, what's the other, the other Eminem song? Oh, I can't think of it. I'll have to remember it
It's all
later.
good.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Till I Collapse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That song would That song would give me absolutely jacked. I was like ready to fucking do anything.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Oh,
Music is probably like a huge supporting background to maybe all brewers.
I bet,
Or like
yeah.
anybody that needs to get hyped, right?
yeah. But I mean, and you're back there because I mean, I know some
Yeah.
people love Taylor Swift, some people love different things. Like other people I've had on the show where they talk about certain music that they like, but then it's like you're gonna have a long day, right? You got to get jacked for it.
It's funny because at the brewery,
Yeah.
whenever there was music playing,
Mm-hmm.
like depending on the song, I knew who was brewing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like everybody has their own
music.
distinct character to them. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was funny. Yeah.
That's awesome. Another one that was like another question I was up to ask is like your favorite styles to like brew and drink.
Yeah, I'm more of a lager. I like making lagers.
Yeah.
I like drinking Belgians and mostly Belgian style beers.
Okay.
Yeah. I remember getting like really influenced by like quad, triple Carmelite, like all these like triple double Belgian beers.
Yeah.
And I think they're sweet. They're like kind of like on the sweet side, but really strong and well balanced.
Yeah.
Which to me, I kind of took that and I started blending it in with what, LA is West Coast IPAs and really hop forward beers. And so to be able to blend, and then my background is Salvadorian. I'm a Salvadorian descended from like my parents.
Yeah.
And so out there, they drink a lot of Pilsner beers, like very light, crispy kind of Pilsners. And so I wanted to get all that like influence mixed together and see like what can I create. And so I ended up with my own light, strong, like smooth, light, strong beers.
Yeah.
And so a lot of my beers that I make, they're very dangerous because you'll pound like 5 of them, and then before you know it, like just yesterday, I provided a strawberry seltzer to a party.
Okay.
And everybody's like, "This is such a great beer."
Trashed.
And they were like, "What's the ABV?" I was like, 7.3.
There you go.
And they were like, "That's not fair."
Yeah. It'll get you there.
Yeah. And so everyone was trash.
Oh, I love it.
But yeah, so I ended up like, that's kind of my stylistic is smooth, light, or smooth, strong beers. Yeah.
That's great, bro.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I mean, and like the one thing, like for me, like Belgians, like I've had them. I don't know, just maybe my palate's still not ready for them. But yeah, I do love like lagers, pilsners, like, and because I mean, I've said it 1,000 times on the show. Like, I mean, you can't hide behind anything. So that's why, I mean, I love to try it. Like, and especially like if you can make like a hoppy pilsner, like a, what they call them, like West Coast lager, something like that. That's like, here's all my money.
Yeah. Yeah. Overdoing it for, I don't know.
Yeah.
I definitely can hide a lot of beers behind hops, but I rather do like these light, crispy bangers
great,
that you can do any time of the year. I actually do like hazies though. Hazies can be a little bit complex. I know it's overdone now with the amount of hazies that are out there.
Yeah,
but I'll drink a nice hazy here and there. Yeah.
Yeah, I always felt like, I mean, I used to love hazies.
Yeah.
I used to love them, but then it was like, we got into West Coast or like cold IPAs or like brutes and stuff like that. But now it's like, just give me, I mean, I love all those styles, but hazies I kind of got off of because I felt so full after.
Yeah.
Yeah. It felt super filling to me, but
every
once in a while, if it's a good one, then I'll drink it. Like I love Hazlet here at La Bodega. It's great.
Yeah. I like that you said brute because it's, to me, that was like, I was really nice style to drink.
Oh yeah, I love that super dry finish.
It just died.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's why every once in a while, if I see one on a menu, I'm like, I'm drinking that.
One time, I made a peach brute IPA.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
I wish I would have known you when you brewed.
And I took it to the brewery, and they were like, "Man, if you can just like take care of the sulfur problem." You have a solid beer. Like this is a solid brew. I was like, oh, okay. I can I'll keep that in my back pocket because that's super unique. Like no one.
It sounds like it might have to be an ass paddle.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. Put a peach.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. The peach gets smacked by the paddle.
Yeah, that's right.
Put the peach emoji.
Yeah. That's right.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, no, it came out really good, but I had a little bit of sulfur issues.
Okay,
something that could be taken care of.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure. I mean, it's a R&D, right?
R&D,
dialing it in and doing all that good. Oh man, this has been super fun, man.
Yeah.
And it's honestly, I'm glad that because Abraham's the one that reached out and was just like, "Hey, man, would you want to talk to this guy?" I was like, "Dude, I'll talk to anybody, bro. Like, let's do it."
Yeah, no, it's definitely like I definitely. Abraham has been very supportive during this whole time. And also the guys from the brewery have been super supportive too.
Yeah.
Like they actually put me in contact with Abraham.
Okay.
Like I was working at the brewery and they're like, "Hey, there's a brewery very close to where you live. Would you like to like explore that option?"
Yeah.
Of course I was already leaving the brewery at that time. And I said, "Oh yeah, I would like to, chat with Abraham for a little bit, and
Yeah.
and so that was the whole thing with like the individuals there, that they were like, yeah, you're not ready, but we see how hard you are working.
Yeah,
We
they
see that
see
you have
potential.
the dedication.
Yeah.
Let's make sure that doesn't die in you, right? And so they connected me. They put
Yeah.
me in the path of people that would help me get to where I want to be, which
That's
was
awesome.
really cool. I mean, even if I go like contact them now,
Mm-hmm.
of course they opened their own brewery up in Anaheim called Everywhere.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, and
Keith and all them.
yeah,
Yeah.
Keith and Sour J and
Mm-hmm. I know Neil's over there
Stefan.
now, right? From like he came over from 8-Bit, I think.
Oh, really? No,
Yeah.
I didn't. Yeah, I mean, great individuals. I mean, those are basically my mentors in the beginning. They were
That's
were
cool,
the
man.
type of people that are like, you got this. You just need a little a little work to do, but
Yeah.
you got this.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. So right now you're contract brewing currently. When does the brewery open?
So with my deal, so I don't think I've mentioned it, but the brewery that I'm currently running is Congregation Ale House.
Mm-hmm. Though, are you the one at Azusa?
The Azusa one. Yeah.
Yeah, I recorded with there was an old like brewer that was there way before Danny.
Oh, okay.
She was there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I ended up I'm doing consulting work for them, and I'm basically handling all their brewing program right now.
Yeah.
I'm finding talent for him. I'm finding like basically setting him up to where he
For
can be
success,
self-sufficient, you know? And so I was going somewhere with this.
Oh, it's gonna know when
that's
the
right.
brewery's gonna open.
That's right. And so now with this in place, you know, my first thought of opening a brewery is I'm going to get investors, I'm going to open a spot, and then I'm going to do this. But that has changed. And so my brewery is actually open.
Okay.
But I'm going distribution heavy first.
Okay.
And so maybe I'm still doing paperwork and all that, but hopefully in the next 2 months, all that gets squared away.
Okay.
And I start just selling the crap out of it, out of the beer. Like I want to start in Whittier, have some restaurants carry it, and then try to push it that way.
Okay.
So that I can start developing the finances to where eventually I have my brick and mortar.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
So it's a complete different route than most people, but I think it's going to work.
Yeah. Man, I mean, honestly, and let me know whenever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Excuse me. And if you ever want me to like shout out, like, you know, anything, like wherever, let me know where it's being sold.
Sure.
I'll mention it on the show.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Mike.
Oh, good, dude.
Yeah.
Anything I could do to help, brother.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
Another question I always love to ask is your desert island beer.
Yeah.
I know it can be tough, but you can also do like, so, because I know obviously, you know, it's a loaded question, but you could do domestic and say craft if you wanted to.
I got that question when I was interviewing for the brewery.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I said something stupid, like not a stout, but like,
Yeah.
you know, it was just a stupid, but the more I thought about it, the more it kind of like became evident to me, because I used to go to Rusty Monk. They're closed now up here.
Yeah.
But Rusty Monk used to carry a beer called Bavik.
Okay.
And it's like a Belgian Pilsner. It's called Super Pils.
Oh, shit.
Like a Super Pilsner
Yeah.
Bavik beer. And I used to go there all the time, even in this like hot summers.
Mm-hmm.
I used to take my fiance to go date over there, and we'll go on dates. We'll have charcuterie reports, and I'm just pounding these Baviks. Yeah. There you go. And I'm like, I really love that beer. Like,
that's awesome.
I can drink tons of those in the desert.
Oh, and also
Wherever,
congratulations, because you're getting married in a couple months.
That's right. Yeah. And next month, actually.
There you go.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Appreciate that.
What would be your domestic one if you had to pick a domestic to drink?
Oh, a domestic one? I don't know. That's hard.
Mine would probably be Hams.
Hams?
Yeah. I don't know what it is about that beer, but it's a sleeper beer for me. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. Michelob? I don't know.
Michelob
Ultra?
Yeah. I don't want to take up too much of your time, so I have a couple more questions for you, though. But what's the thing? I know we've talked about the community a lot in this episode, but what's your favorite thing about the craft beer community?
I think to me, it's like that pretty close camaraderie of of having like that same passion about
Mm-hmm.
craft beer, right? Because that anywhere I go, it's such a accepting community that it's so, because it's all the same, right? Like everybody has the same passion,
Mm-hmm.
and they're willing to help you. Like they're willing to go out of the way.
Yep.
Like they're willing to get you a 4,000 string mesh,
Yeah.
you know,
I love that story.
just to make you filter out a beer.
Yeah.
Right. They won't give you any money, but
Yeah.
they'll
Yeah.
yeah.
They'll give you
But
that for sure.
do you need resources? I
Yeah.
got you. Right. And that's the whole thing about the brewing industry is you can ask and somehow they'll make it work for you.
Yeah.
Right. I've never been in an industry like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so cool, man.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's what I love about it the most, but I love hearing it from people because, you know, I can say it all I want on the show, like, but when people actually hear people within the industry say that, I mean, if it motivates one person to get out there, and that's one of the things, like, before we end, I'll ask you about that, but one of those things you can just call someone and be like, hey, I'm having a trouble with this. Can you, like, what, do you know any tricks? Or like, even like you said, you come over here, you start working with Abraham and you started showing him your tricks.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, what's better than that? You know?
Yeah. No, that is definitely one of the many things I like about this industry is that camaraderie and that common goal of making
Yep.
amazing crafted beers, right?
Yep.
Because it's such an art forward industry,
Mm-hmm.
right? Everybody's trying to get their beer out in their own style, in their own fashion.
100%.
And it's cool to see how many people want you to succeed.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
I usually end it with, since we're already talking about it, we'll jump one question, we'll come back to it. If you were going to give advice to someone that wanted to get into the industry, whether it was the brewing side or home brewing or anything, what would you tell them?
Yeah. I mean, it's when you start homebrewing, right? Like the advice that I would give is when you start homebrewing and you see all the things that you have to do, right? Because it's a very labor intensive
for sure
thing. And so I definitely suggest that people start homebrewing. They start learning about the process.
Yeah.
Because you can easily get kind of discouraged by the amount of science and the amount of like technology goes behind making beer.
Yeah.
It's not easy to make it, but if it's something that you grow passionate to, I would say to be patient.
Yeah.
Okay. Because like the more patient you are, the more you start understanding about the industry.
100%.
And then the more straightforward you are with people about where you're at, the more people are willing to help you at your level, right?
Yeah.
Like the worst thing you can do is walk in and saying like, I'm a brewer.
Yeah.
And then you've never even made a batch of beer, right? So it's one of those like developmental things. You start small, you start in your
it's baby steps.
Yeah, it's baby steps. Start in your kitchen, start in your garage, make a first batch, see the process through and see if it does anything for you.
Yeah.
Right? See if it sparks any interest. Because what happens is the process sucks.
Yeah.
But the product,
it makes it worth it.
It makes it up for all the shit that you had to do. And so when you put up all this, when you like right now, you're having
I chugged it. It was so
and
good.
You chugged it. And, I mean, as soon as I walked in here, that thing was half gone, and I was like, "This is why I do this shit." It's because people can enjoy a product that I made.
100%.
And if you're that type of person where you're willing to put in a lot of work and get that type of result from life, right? Where you see people enjoying what you've made. Yeah. That I really recommend you being in this industry because this is probably like the most rewarding thing you can do is see a sea of people
Yeah.
drinking your beer
Yeah.
and going, this is good. And this,
Yeah.
congratulations. Like,
Exactly.
you're doing such a great job, and you're just like overwhelmed with all these like positive things.
Oh, for sure.
You can also be overwhelmed with the negative things
Mhm.
about it, right? You can make a shitty batch, but you overcome that.
Yeah.
You know, if you can overcome challenges and make product, man, the brewing industry is for you, man. Like,
That's the brewer's mentality, brother.
You're artistic. You're good with mechanical parts. You're good
Yeah.
with like science. You like biology. You like chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
This is a place for you.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's a great answer. And like, that's like, I know Abraham had mentioned the reel earlier, but it was about the long nights, like the first pour in your brewery, you know, like having that, seeing that first person have that first one, you know, or tapping out, you know, that's kind of, what's better than that?
I think that's one of the best things about this industry too.
Yeah.
Is the fact that it really does bring people together.
Oh, it does. Yeah.
You know, it like you and I, like,
we've never met before.
We've never met before.
And now we're bonding over beer.
Yeah, now we're bonding over beer, having good conversations about beer.
Yeah.
And then later on, you know, like family, and like it's all community based.
100%.
It's all community based. And so it's just amazing how this brings everything together. Like, you can do so much with this, right?
100%.
And I joke around, like my fiance makes fun of me sometimes because I like to tell stories about how the Declaration of Independence was written. And I was just like, yeah, you know, Thomas Jefferson and you know, Samuel Adams, and they threw keggers in order to write the Declaration of Independence. Otherwise, nobody's gonna want to go.
Party, yeah.
I don't know how true those facts are, but I like to tell that story.
Oh, who doesn't? That's great, man.
Yeah.
And honestly, they said thank you again for, you know, coming down, and we're doing this. Thanks for some of the beer. One last question. What's your favorite food to have with a beer? And I usually say like tacos, wings, pizza, burgers. Like what's your kind of thing?
Pizza.
Oh, pizza's great.
Pizza, 100%.
You can have a crispy boy with that pizza, or what are you having?
Oof. I'm having everything with that pizza.
There you go. Oh, what are your go-to toppings?
I definitely like I do all meats. I'm an all meat guy. Yeah, like
I always like my brother always makes fun of me because he'll get like different things on there. I'm like, no, I just just pile some meat on there and put it in my mouth.
Yeah, put a carne asada, put some brisket.
Oh, dude, I make every once in a while. Me and because we have a smoker, but it has a pizza oven attachment, so it has like the pizza stone in there. And what I'll do is I'll make almost like a Mexican pizza, but it's like I'll do like chile verde as the sauce.
Yeah.
And then I'll do like pepper jack, and I'll do chorizo, and maybe something else on there. Like a drizzle of something else.
That sounds amazing.
Bomb,
so when am I coming over?
Dude. I actually think because we usually do pizzas in the fall because it's too fucking hot because the oven gets like 600 degrees or higher. So it's like, but probably like October-ish. So if you want to come down for some pizza,
we have a pizza oven in the business at congregation. You can come use it.
Hey, I'll come and make some pizzas. Oh, that'd be fun, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, man, this has been a blast. I'm super thankful and grateful that you're willing to come down and hang out. And like I said, thank you for your beer. And anything else you got going on or coming up?
Yeah, so I have this Oktoberfest coming out. Let's see if I'm gonna crack this open.
Let's do it. Let's crack her open, eh? Oh, it's the best. I fucking love that sound, especially in the mic. It sounds like chef's kiss.
Everybody's like salivating.
Mm-hmm. Like, oh, you son of a bitch! You're drinking that without.
Yeah, exactly. What I'll do is.
Oh yeah. Whoops. Oh, add a little bit in there. There we go. Hop water now.
Yeah, hop water. Hop water.
That's getting popular too now, then, man.
Yeah, it is. It is. So this is the beginning of the Oktoberfest beer. This is one of our favorite beers to brew. Now, this is not the final product. It's still a work in progress because when you scale up from small to big,
I bet,
it's really difficult to nail down the ingredients. And so this was all the elements are there except for the breadiness. Okay. So this is it's a Marzen style beer. It's a Oktoberfest German style lager.
Yeah.
Marzen in German, it's March. So usually what they do is they brew it in March.
And it's ready by
then it's ready by September.
And it's like exploding on the nose.
Yeah, it's explosive. A lot of the beer is very malt complex. There's about
It's really rich.
really rich, yeah.
Yeah.
And most Oktoberfests are between 4.7 to 5.6. I think it's the highest. So this one is actually clocking in at 7.2.
Great fucking job.
Yeah.
I drink the shit out of it.
Yeah. So it's not really a margin if you look at the what it's supposed to fall in within the alcohol tolerances.
Yeah.
But I don't fucking care. I'm breaking boundaries.
Hey, you're brewing your beer, so
yeah.
fuck it.
Yeah. So it's
I love
definitely this is coming out by next week.
Okay.
And I am doing an event this coming the Saturday the 17th.
Okay. So that next Saturday?
Next Saturday, that's correct.
Okay.
And so Modern Day is having a coaches night.
Oh, nice.
And so what they do, I guess they have all these breweries come together, and not only breweries, but I believe barbecue, I want to say.
Okay.
And so it's food, it's beer, and it's a bunch of vendors out there trying to raise money for Modern Day's football program.
Because this will be out in 3 weeks, but I can, if you have anything after next week, but also, is there like an Instagram like promoting it? Because send it to me and I'll send it out.
Yeah, definitely. I do. And so I'll send you that so that people can click on the links.
Sweet.
And come support the craft brewing industry, because there's going to be quite a few breweries out there.
Love it.
I want to say that about 40 breweries are going to attend.
Oh shit, that's awesome.
Yeah, so it's not a little thing. It's a pretty huge event going on. So I'll be there August 17th.
Sweet. I mean, you know what? I don't know if I have anything on the 17th. I might cruise down.
Yeah, come by.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, well, like I said, thank you again. This is great. Can't wait for this to come out, and I'll promote it on the show each week as we're leading up to it.
Thank you.
And thank you, man.
No problem. Thank you, Mike, for having me here and for taking on this task, because not a lot of people understand how passionate people really are about beer.
Yeah, that's what I love, man. It's the stories for me. Like, it's great. I mean, as I always say, like, as great as the beer is, it's about the person behind it, like the person that created it and what they had to go through, what they had to struggle with to get there. So
there's a lot of great stories out there.
Oh yeah, man. That's why I say the destination's always the same, but the journey to get there is different, brother.
Very different.
Always different.
Yeah, no, thank you so much for having me.
All good, brother. Thank you again.
All right, Mike.
Cheers.
All right, guys. Well, hope you guys enjoyed that. Like I said, it was such a fun time with him, man. And when I say that, I'm not just saying that just to say it. I truly enjoy hearing these people's stories, and it's so fun to me to talk to these people because everybody's so damn nice, and we get to just sit and talk for an hour, have a beer, and how cool was it that he fucking was letting shit lager for forever. And I love that. And like I said, I can't wait for him to get his brick and mortar and for us to pound a few together, and maybe be there for the grand opening or soft opening, whatever. But definitely go and support. I mean, follow on Instagram, do all that sort of stuff. All right. What else do I got? Oh, I did get to record this week. We recorded 2 remote ones, which was fun. I had to record with Tyler Sadler at Tyler's Brew on Instagram. Or is it Tyler Brews? I should have remembered that. I'll get it right now. Yep, Tyler's Brew. I was right the first time. Way to go, Mike. It's early Sunday morning, and I'm about to go make I'm going to go make a fat-ass wet burrito right now. Well, the biggest burrito I can put in my mouth. You know what I mean? Come on, get your mind out of the gutter. And then I also got to record with Doug Valicki, beer aficionado, on Instagram. Man, what a wealth of knowledge that guy is. It's when it comes to craft beer, I was like, holy crap. I'm excited for you guys to hear that one. I got some other ones that are coming up that I'm going to be recording. So, yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to go make my burrito now. And hope you guys have a good Sunday. Hopefully SC wins. I'm cautiously optimistic, I think. I don't know. We'll see. Whatever happens, happens. Just a game. All right. Well, cheers, Tap fam. And don't forget to get out there and support local, drink local, and find your beer, baby. Cheers.